Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the PVM focused Ultimate Ironman account. In the last episode, we worked on getting our fire cape and we're heading back to Barrows to continue the search for gear upgrades and progressing the account. If you're new to the series, you can always go to the channel and look through the playlist to find the previous episodes as well as future episodes that will all be stored in one place. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. I really can't tell if my luck is just bad or good or something's up because right now, 112 KC, we got a Aram's Robe Top as our second Aram's Robe Top. I'm currently holding the other one. So this is going to get dropped over to another account for GP. But this is kind of sad because of all the items to get a duplicate on this early, it had to be an Aram's Robe Top. A lot of people would probably want this item, but I really just want a tank top and legs because I don't want to spend that much time here. And it's kind of crazy that I can't tell if my luck is bad or good, honestly. Alright, and just to look at the log one last time, since we're ending the day, we are at 6 out of 25 and 108 KC. So overall, not super good, but not super bad either. Could have been better, but we're just going to keep grinding. Hopefully we get a pair of tank legs soon, because I really don't want to spend too much time here at Barrows in the early game, like doing it inefficiently, which is not having Mori Hard Diary done, not having proper teleports. It's a bit tedious, and I was really hoping to just get tank top and bottom like relatively quickly. So I'm hoping that within the next 100 KC, we get it, and if not, we'll reassess when we get there. So you might be wondering why we're here at the museum in Varrock, and that's actually because I've been AFKing for quite some time at Ammonite Crabs. We just hit 80 attack, and we're almost at 80 defense. But yeah, I've been collecting all the fossils since I started AFKing here, and I actually realized we got enough to get to 150 museum kudos. And why this is significant is because this unlocks the volcanic mine as a death storage for us. And while this death storage is not commonly used due to the fact that it requires its own currency of Nummulite, I think this is actually a super significant death storage for us because I'm going to be AFKing this anyways for a little bit, so I'm going to be racking up additional fossils. And on top of that, you can just quickly teleport to it. So when you are suiciding and if you need to get things immediately afterwards, it's very easy to just do a quick teleport to the volcanic mine. Whereas getting back to the farming guild can be a little bit harder. And also, I don't actually have the 65 farming required, and I don't have a Hespori seed either. So those are two big things I'm currently missing and will take some time to get. But this means that in the meantime, if I need to utilize death storage in any way, I now have access to do it. And I do have a little bit more fossils I'm going to be placing to use these antique lamps on Herblore. So after using up all the fossils that I had, I have a few more experience lamps. This might get us, I don't believe this is going to get us to 52, but we will see. So really close to 52 Herblore, which is awesome because that means we can almost make super energy potions. And in fact, we're going to need a super energy potion, possibly two of them, for when we do Desert Treasure pretty soon. So this is great to get a couple of free levels from this so that I don't have to grind out a bunch of Herblore before trying to get a quest done. So we just got Aram's robe skirt bottom, which I'm really kind of shocked we got because we have the robe top now. So we actually have the two pieces that we'll want to keep for sure because they're actually very useful. Um, and on top of that, we got the Carol's crossbow. So those three pieces alone are very useful to have on an ultimate. I think they're three of the pieces you'd want to keep for quite a while, especially if you're, farming Zulrah, things like that. So I'm kind of stoked we got it, but I'm still wondering where our tank legs are at because we're still missing them. But nonetheless, I'm going to go put it in the looting bag and we're going to continue on with the Barrows grind. All right. And I decided after doing some Barrows that I'm going to take a break and instead I'm going to do some Tithe Farm. And I figure I'm going to kind of do this in like little bits. Who knows? I'm going to go until I get really bored and tired of it. It's super tedious. If you've never done Tithe Farm before, if you want to be efficient, you got to be like pretty focused. There's like almost no looking away from the screen. And that's without even being tick perfect. There's a tick perfect strategy that is even beyond that, which I'm not going to be doing. And if I get really lazy, I'm going to be doing it even more slow and AFK by planting less seeds per run. But yeah, I figured I'd chip away at this because I definitely need to get the seed box no matter what anyways, as well as auto weeding, so that I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do it, and ultimately I kind of need this soon because I'm starting to fill up the bag space a bit more, and I need to get some of these seeds out that I'm gonna have on me through Slayer. So I'm probably thinking I'm gonna hold on to Renars, I'm gonna hold on to Snaps, Irits, and I probably will hold on to Aventos and either Limps or Snapegrass. And I don't necessarily need to hold on to the Snapegrass because I don't need to be planting them all the time. Um, because you get so many per plant versus limps that I don't need to rush those, I feel like. And then when I finally use up my Renars, I can just plant those as well, and start to get ready for that. But I'll probably change my mind a little bit here and there. I'll think about it, but it definitely will clear up a ton of space in my looting bag. And then really I only have a couple of other items to go through, like the steel bars and making my Irits into super attacks. And then I should be ready to do Slayer. But anyways, we're going to get started with the Tithe Farm, and we'll be back. All right, this is it. We're in a final turn in, and we actually got to do one single run on Bolagano fruit because we barely got 54 by the end of this grind. But we're at 293 points, and when we turn this in, we're at 311. So we can actually buy the seed box as well as the auto weeding, which is going to be super nice. So we're going to get these all set up. I'm going to actually go put the watering cans back, and then we're going to buy our rewards. And we're going to have to go suicide to go get our seeds out of our bag so we can put them in our seed box. And unfortunately, we've essentially just given ourselves another permanent item. And I'll talk more about this in a little bit when we get our inventory reorganized and all our seeds ready. All right, so we're set up to go back to Barrows. I just need to buy my Artie cloak back, but we're pretty much good to go. And I got my seed box in the inventory. I ended up deciding I'm not going to get my items out of my looting bag because I don't really have a need. Actually, I'm not going to need the seeds right now. I won't be doing farm runs in between Barrows runs, and I still have 4 spots. So I'm just going to go straight back to Barrows. We're just going to try and grind it out while I have the motivation because, we've been getting items from Barrows, just nothing that we've really wanted. After the Carol's crossbow, honestly, that was actually one of the only items I really wanted besides the tank top and bottom. So, yeah, we're gonna see, but yeah, we're all set. We're ready to go. We got our gear. I decided not to even bother buying the gloves and whatnot back because, yeah, I mean, weight reduction isn't necessarily bad right now, and I don't really need the little bit of bonus from rune gloves. So this is going to be our setup, and we're going to continue on from here. So there wasn't any audio for this clip, but we did get the Aram staff, so that is 3 of the 4 Aram pieces for the set completed. So real quickly, I want to stop at the Rock Museum because I did a little bit of KC last night without recording the footage. So I figured I'd show my collection log. And as you can see, the new items that we got were the Aram staff as well as the Carol's leather skirt, which is pretty interesting. Again, not really a leg drop that we want, honestly. The Carol's leather skirt is not necessarily a bad item, but I think on an Ultimate Ironman long term, you probably would only ever carry the Carol's leather top if you needed it. If you get Blessed D'hide, which I think is more ideal for things like God Wars because it saves you an inventory space, um, you probably would want to run with those anyways. But nevertheless, this is not necessarily a bad item, and I'm gonna try and use it when I do Bloodveiled tasks and see how it works out. And maybe if we get lucky and somehow we get this Carol's leather top before we get one of these pieces, we'll have the full set, which will be pretty nice. But if somehow I get the leather top, long term, I don't plan to keep the leather skirt. Right now, it's in the looting bag. I would likely drop this item and I'd keep the leather top. I think it's a much more significant item, but we'll see if we even get to that point. So for now, we've recharged our Iban's staff to 2100 charges, and we are ready to continue the Barrows grinds. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know the audio and clips are a little bit all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed.